Greetings all. Beautiful day. At least for me. Yes. There'll always be challenges. Sometimes you can put them off and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you go around them, over them, under them, and occasionally through them, like the rain. But you gotta have an umbrella. And wherever there's an obstacle, there's always a way to go around, under, like I said, through. And I use the umbrella for through. But if you go to America, you'll see there are some people who are born in whatever city you can call it, and whatever zip code you can call it, or whatever street you can call it. And except for going to school, they never leave that small area. There's some who, through the years, observe events, and as they grow older, make more observations and add all this information together. It finally hit them one day, look, I have to get off of this. A lot of people stay in the position where they are because of money. I'm watching the news, and almost every day there's some poll, some questionnaire asking people about what they fear most. And all those people who are working, they're 60, 70 years old, they're saying, I'm going to have to die on the job. Some people are comfortable in the places where they are and don't want to change it. But then there's that 20%, and we always come to this 20%, who will say, you know what, not me, I am going to move. And so among those 20% are the same people who you'll see on the block 30 years, 40 years. And then one of their friends that they went to school with say, yeah, man, I haven't seen you in a long time. Where are you? What's up? Yeah, I'm living in South America. What? I'm living in the Caribbean. Huh? I'm living in Africa. And then they fall on the floor that time. Africa. And they start telling you, you're not afraid of living in Africa, you're not this, you're not that, you know. All the things that they heard came up. But fast forward 3 or 4 years down the road, friend go back to Africa, come back again. He said, man, you know what? I have to make this move, man, because all of these events are happening and I'm frustrated, upset, you know. He's not prepared to go to Africa. It's just that his friend went there And he said, well, if my friend can do it, I can do it. And some of those people succeed. Some of them succeed. I know one couple who I met in Gambia who succeeded coming to Africa with almost nothing. Even with my knowledge, I didn't do what they did. But our circumstances are different. They did it when they were young. No children. But I had to put my children first. So I worked until my children were adults. And then I give them a little bit of this and a little bit of that advice, how to do things. Try to set them up who would listen, and had to leave the rest behind. But some people come to Africa with little or nothing, succeed. Some people come to Africa with little or nothing and fail. Some people come with much to Africa and fail. And one of the things that people don't pay attention to is the Africans themselves. The people that they meet on the ground. The Africans that you pass by every day and they speak to you, hi uncle, hi auntie, how you doing? They're there every day under that tree. And you never question, why are these people here every day? They are born there and they never leave there. Just like your friend in America or England or wherever you came from. They live in a system where things are bad and they will discuss it among themselves. They'll talk about it. I've had many conversations and learned a lot about what goes on. People just like this. I'll be having a conversation with them. I went to a bank, sit down and have a conversation with a young man, 20 years old. Very mean. His knowledge is great for a 20-year-old. But he's of the opinion that, well, I can't do anything about it. So when his village go to vote for somebody, the village elder come out and tell him what to vote for, who to vote for, what to do, how to do it, when to do it. All the knowledge that he's gained on his own, wasted. All his knowledge, all the observation that he's made throughout his life, everything he's learned is wasted. Tradition. Because the elders, but the elders are being paid by somebody. I watched the war in Iraq and Afghanistan and my own war. And I saw some things that it seemed like other people either didn't see or saw, and the imams and all those people who were to get the people together to change things, they didn't. They were being paid off. You know, boxes of money delivered to their mosque. And they remain silent. Same thing with the preachers in America. No matter who you are, Muslim, Hindu, you come to America and there's a silence. Nobody wants these people who's sitting on the block all their lives to change. The same thing happens in Africa. From the time Africa started becoming independent, there was a group of African nations who just sat down and said, you know what, we're gonna continue to depend on the colonial master. Made that decision. And you'll see, I'm going to use Guinea-Bissau as an example. They go before the UN, talk about how bad things are in their country, in their state, in their city, and ask for help. When I say help, finance, money. But the rulers of Guinea-Bissau are filthy rich by stealing all the money that's produced in the country. 99.99% of the people are, like in Niger, don't have electricity, good running water, streets to walk on, sewer systems, health care, education. They are stealing on the money from the commodities that the country produces, but going before the UN to ask for money for the same poor people that they're stealing from. And these poor people follow their elders in the tradition of not saying anything about the leaders, not getting rid of the criminality. A lot of people who come to Africa thinking that we're supposed to come and do something to help. And the elders will see you come to the village and be at your door knocking. Hey, we want to do this thing, can you contribute? While they are getting money from the central government or from the governor office to do these things. Some of you may not notice that because you live in Senegambia. You live in Kotu. You know, you live in beachside in Ghana. You don't see it because you don't come out of your house except to go to the grocery store. You pass by the smiling Gambian underneath the tree. You don't know what's going on in the village government, village area, among the people. Your conversation doesn't get there. The conversation stays away from the reality. And you realize that what you do is not going to help. I've been running into people who try to help and they got robbed. I told people coming to Africa, be prepared to get robbed. Some of us will lose thousands. Some of us will lose hundreds. Some of us will lose less than 100. Over time, you might come 6 months, you lose 100. 5 years from now, you lose 1,000. Because now you feel comfortable in the position, place where you are, not thinking somebody is watching you. And then boom, you're surprised. And you talk yourself out of saying, hey, you get upset. And somebody will convince you, the people who did this to you were not from the village that you came from or the country that you are in. There are a lot of people from other countries are here, and they're the ones who are doing them. No. Anyway, just be careful. You're not going to save yourself from everything. But when you're going out of the rain, take an umbrella. If it is hot outside, like in this time of the year anywhere across West Africa, take an umbrella, put on a mask, because the dust is going to affect your health. The diesel fuel, smoke, all that, the filth, those vehicles that transporting people everywhere. Some of you are proud to ride in those vehicles and say, oh, it's safe. I've seen accidents. I used to see it daily. Riding from home to my guard, 10, 12, 15 people, all dead. A lot of people say, don't look at these things. They don't see them. I got tired of showing crashed vehicles beside the road. That be there for weeks. Taxis head on. Motorcycles. I see one driving down the road, see a motorcycle slide right underneath it. Going in the opposite direction of the traffic. Slide right underneath the vehicle, the car. Motorcycles that drive between pedestrians. And the policeman is standing right there, not saying anything, would not say a word. Sometimes I used to wonder, what kind of policeman, but me driving my car, I pull off beside the side of the road. You're not allowed to stop here. Sorry, I got a problem with it. You're not allowed to stop here. It's not, he's got a problem. You end up paying this man or woman just so you can stop the harassment. But this motorcycle rider, or this gilly driver driving between them, but I'm driving I'm not a Gambian. So, money. And all of you experience these things. Even the ones who told me, well, you experience these things because you're thinking that way. And what you're thinking, you attract. Oh man, have mercy. Anyway, I hope you enjoy your day wherever you are. Just take your umbrella with you. Take your mask with you. Do something. Watch what you are doing. The obstacles are there. Peace.